All right, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let's see. I'm gonna have to get rid of one of these. What's going on, people? Going on, people? Let's see. I'm gonna have to eliminate somebody. There we go. All right, they did it for me. I was gonna go ahead and take one of me out. Double up. I had to take oneself out. But what's going on, everybody? What's going on? Do a little riding, talking because I actually didn't do my spreadsheet like I was supposed to last night. I had to jaw jacket with the kids about work. Had a little small incident had to take care of with the boys. I'm like, man, the older these boys get, man, they hard head. I kind of get when I was young how this stuff was to me, and I know I was bad. I ain't gonna even say I wasn't bad. I wasn't that bad, but I was bad. You know, I ain't started getting badder until my later years, and the bad is until I got much older, being grown. You know, I see how I use these pronunciations in the proper context of the words of, uh, you know, the worstest and all that. Shout out to Toya the tutor. But yeah, when it come down to it, yeah, man, these kids, man, I see what the parents always say. Wait till you have kids, then you'll see what's going on. But as it stand, we here and we focusing on things and money and stuff. My little tangent videos that I'm going on now. When I start off with one topic and I talk about something else, it's just the flow of things. Shout out to Gold P. I always talk to say sometimes conversations have legs and start walking. We're talking to Gold P. Gold P been chillacking in the backseat. He's out there chasing the money. That's why he ain't been doing his broadcast. I ain't mad at him. When I start doing this, heavy lockdown, I might have to take a little hiatus and, you know, start dropping some of these videos I got in the tuck I ain't never dropped. That's crazy. But, even a couple of videos I got for this other channel I'm working for, trying to get done. Got a lot of little crazy videos over there. It's like more reaction type, you know. Um, Mainly that reaction channel is gonna be a project, just like I did with this one. When I cut the topics off of the he say she say stuff and try to focus on the money and just everyday life. How many people are really coming for some kind of self worth? Like I said, my channel, I try to keep it on the basis of finance and more or less the knowledge of self of you healing and taking care of yourself and doing things for you. Because once again, who gonna love you but you? So going into that aspect, you know, let me start highlighting some of these people that's checking in because I start getting into it. Okay, going on to the people in the chat. What's going on with you? What's going on with you? Yeah. So like I said yesterday, I'm touch back on that about finance and going into the aspect of the holidays and the New Year's. One of my biggest things that I started doing more or less was trying to prepare myself for the New Year in December by not spending as much. But I kind of hold out for Christmas. I spend a little bit on Christmas. But this year, my wife has finally convinced me all these years of being married to be the Grinch. So this year, as it stands, I'm not getting a whole bunch of gifts for Christmas for everybody. Of course, certain people. Oh, drop my phone. But certain people get certain privileges. Other than that, everybody else, you know, they not getting much. You know, the kids. I think I know who that is and why. But certain people get privileges and everything to the point where they able to, get more than others. Especially like the little kids. I always look out for the little kids at Christmas because Mainly that's what Christmas is for, the little kids. And then we get into the aspect of the adults. You know, they don't get too much from me. You are already grown. You should have responsibility to, buy yourself something for Christmas that you like. You know, if you looking for me to buy you something for Christmas, especially not being my wife, I'm sorry, it's not gonna be in your favor to hope and wish that I'm getting you some extravagant gift for Christmas. The thought that counts, what they always say, and a lot of people thoughts are not that good when it comes to people gifts, but their own. But that goes on to Gold Professor's Nine Laws of Self Governance. Law number three, you apply selfishness. Sometimes you got to think about yourself. People that don't think about themselves, that's the issue that you have, you know. And going into the other aspect of what I was saying too, peeping game, um, focusing in on your health, start working out this month, you know. Don't start don't start see this why I can't look at the chat, so say y'all be distracted. Don't start actually your New Year's resolution going into the new year. Start it now. Because if you can start keeping it up now, even though the holidays coming up, that could be your one cheat day. But at the same time, start working out now. Why wait till the new year to start working out? Why always result to a New Year's resolution? To get that summer body. Why not go ahead and get that summer body now? What's going on? Everybody coming in. That New Year's resolution. Shout out to Bruce Gas Boxing and Jazz. Him underrated. Big Duke. They big components over there on the channel. Fourth quarter talk. They always talking about working on your physique, your body. Drinking water, getting the proper nutrition, getting those vegetables in. You know, ask everybody need to ask themselves, when was the last time I literally had a salad? When was the last time I actually had a salad? A lot of people, man, they don't even remember. They don't even remember the last time they ate fruit. More or less, because a lot of people are so into, you know, carnivore type eating a lot of meats and stuff that you're not putting yourself in a situation to have a balanced diet. You know, and coming into the new year, you want to set the tone. Just like a lot of people have these New Year resolutions. Why you just can't have a month to month resolution? Why you can't have a year end resolution, or possibly just take it day by day? You know, some people can't keep it real with themselves to get proper sleep at night. How many people get a full 8 hours of sleep? Say the least. Hey, I'm in that category sometimes. And the crazy part, I'm about to buy me a new bed. I got me a spring bed. I don't know why I went back to springs. Got me a spring bed with the pillow top on there. I ain't had that bed for no more than about been in the house for, so I would say at least about 4 or 5 years. About 5 years, I think. About 5 years. Yeah. I ain't had that bed no more than about 5 years. And I literally need another foam mattress because the freaking it just once I got used to that foam mattress, man, it cuddles me in the bed, so keeps me more comfortable. And I got to get back another foam mattress. I actually just bought some pillows this weekend because I had neck started hurting, so I ended up buying pillows. Of course, my wife, she wanted new pillows because I got new pillows, so gave her one of the two, and I actually had like another pillow that had an insulation in there that surround the pillow itself with like goose feathers. So it had like a memory foam pillow in the middle with goose feathers on the outside for more comfort. I think my wife washed the goose feather pillows, the outside cover. so it ain't as soft as much as it used to be. So, you know, I just went on ahead and just used the memory foam pillow, and the other, what is it, Sealy Posturepedic type pillow. I know it's from Sealy, the bed makers. So I got that pillow. Frugal Mama, I seen you early this morning. I caught you on the back end, and I was listening to the replay. I did hit you a like. I ain't even finished listening, but I was one. I looked at you starting off sitting down before you did exercise and everything. Then you jump up into it. I ain't even really get into the video. Calls in the morning, start hitting into work. And most of the time, I try to see if I can make it to the car by 7:30, so where I can go do a little live before I, get started fully working in. I check in. I get on the clock really because I get paid commission. So pretty much running on depending on how I get there and knock it on out. So I got a little control over that. Me jumping in and off until I get ready to head out. But yeah, so but a lot of people, like I say, with these goals, man, you got to start setting goals and sticking to them. Some people might have to do a day by day goal. I ain't even gonna read that. I'm just gonna highlight it. Might have to do a day by day goal because a lot of people can't stick it to the regular things. Like as Gold Peace, they have that discipline. That law number one, having discipline, and just take care of the things that are needed. You know, how many times the doctor has to force you into eating properly because he's telling you about to die? Why can't you just eat properly on your own and make yourself have good health? Like I told people in the last video last night, that's one of the main reasons why I brush my teeth so well, because I just don't like how the dentist picking at my teeth and my gums. So I make sure I get all the things to brush my teeth properly. And my dentist never told me about getting an electric toothbrush with a spinning head, and getting a water pick to, flush out those hard to reach areas in the back, which a lot of people, neglect, and getting the tongue scraper with the water and all that. I did that on my own, Jessica, I seen your video last night. I didn't even fully get into it because I was just laying down. I'm gonna go back and look at that too. What's going on, Jessica? How you doing? I'll go check Jessica out. I think like I told Swoop knows Jessica channel because Swoop do her Saturday nights. Need to invite Jessica over there as a guest on your Saturday Night Live. Swoop like me. And like I say, when it come down to it, oh, my phone don't break over here. But when it come down to it, like I said, a lot of people got to do more for their health. They really do got to take care of themselves better, and taking care of yourself better. One of the biggest things is focus on what you eat. Focus on just exercising, just walking around. I mean, just cleaning up your house in general, almost an exercise within itself. Because you got to understand, sometimes you got to move the sofa, get behind the sofa, moving the microwave and all that stuff, wiping behind there. That's when you get a good clean. That's when you get a good clean. A lot of people, they have clean. I constantly get on my kids about that. I just told my kids last night because the dishwasher, and this the funny part, they actually popped a piece off my dishwasher that can be just put back on. All it is just a piece where the water shoots in the top rack, and it spins and sprays the dishes with the top rack. So it sprays the water, sprays the soap up there. That's all it is. Without that being on there, the water just constantly spraying on the dishes from the back of the dishwasher. So I just went on and popped it off and was like, oh man, it's broke. Look like y'all gotta wash dishes by hand now. They are so bad. they 12 years. Well, no, they ain't doing. They 11. They finna be 12 at the beginning of the year. But just salty with them. I always tell my wife they act like real kids. They act like real little kids. You know, they real playful. They just like having fun. They wasn't going through no tough. When I got to their age, like I was going into a tough phase, like wanting to be hard. And sixth grade, that's when I started toughening up more because it's the environment. If you soft in certain environments, you ain't getting no love. So with that, I try to keep them, in positive mindset. That's why I say I move according to my kids' school because I know either by next year or so, or probably going into 24, I'm gonna end up, moving and getting another house because, according to the school system, they got to go to certain schools, and then why not just go ahead and live in the best school system? I did that for my older kids. Had great results. Both of them went to college. My daughter graduated. My son, he's on the fence because I think he got like a year and a half. I think no, he got 2 years. The 19 kind of slowed him down from going to school, and he started doing the online classes, and went from the online classes to start making money. That's like one of the number one things I was trying not to let him do was make a whole bunch of money because when you start making money good, your view on school changed. I had a partial scholarship to go. I had a partial scholarship to go to. I had a partial scholarship to go to college, but my thing of it was when I got down to it, I started making good money in the summer, and I started doing the math. I'm like, the college is this. I got to pay this back with the loans. But if I'm making this money, this is all positive, no losses. So why would I go to college and put myself in debt when I can actually start making money out the gate, as most people do that have gone to college? So I took that road, and it was worth it. Did I miss college or trying to get that experience? Yes, but like I said, I got unscathed, came out without debt. You know, still make good money. You know, so it's not a bad thing. I could always go back to making even more money, but when it come down to it, like I said, I actually took a pay cut for my kids to come first. You know, and that's one of the biggest things that I'm doing now. Even with paying for tutoring, I'm gonna get them into sports, get them more socialized and stuff. But I want to be, a better dad. Like I said, I got big shoes to fill. My dad died when I was young, but at the same time, like he put so many things in place. It's like, in my mindset, the child always supposed to be, as far as the mother and the father, you're supposed to be doing better than your parents. And that's one of my main goals is to do better than my father. And I got shoes to fill. This man went to the military, was in the military, came out, became a recruiter, you know, built up so much wealth. And the craziest part, my dad spoke 5 different languages. I haven't even started on that aspect. I barely can speak two, but that's here nor there. But at the same time, though, that's what a lot of people don't have. That's why I told you, man, that knowledge itself, you start putting more expectations on yourself. If you have shoes to fill, you don't have time to be playing and, going through life trying to, as they say, make ends meet. You got things you need done. And with things that you need done, it has to be done at a precise time. And if it's not done at that time, you got to, get things in order to what it can be. And so that's the hint for a lot of people. They kind of lose out on them trying to, find themselves. And it's The craziness is finding yourself later in life, which, is better late than never. But who needs to be finding themselves when you're about 50, 60, 70 years old? Like I've always said, I don't want to be figuring things out when I get to my 50s and 60s. I want to at least have some type of structure to where it just need to be tweaked and things be okay. And it's not even more or less like I'm taking shot at the older people, but it's just to a degree. Sometimes like the older people, young kids, and I would say kids, but young adults always put the elders in the category. But to a degree, you got to understand, y'all had it a lot worse because a lot of the stuff that we're coming into now, we getting it off the muscle of y'all. You know, all these young kids now getting into tech, starting jobs easily, doing social media. How do you think that came about? We was the first wave of social media with Black Planet. That was our start. Of social media with Black Planet. Then we came into what was that? MySpace. MySpace. Um, what was the other one? Then I think it was Facebook. Or was it something else before MySpace? And then Facebook, and then so forth as they got all the way down to TikTok and Clubhouse and all these other little sites. But the main majority of it is, we set the trend starting off with some of this stuff, and so the next generation come in have it a whole lot better because a lot of times people who deal with these things, they tweaked it so much till they made it better for the next generation. Be so easy, and the young kids always want to come at the elders and older people as well, just saying that hey, I could do this better than you, but you wasn't there for the struggle when there was no internet, when you had to get an Encyclopedia Britannica and look up all your homework. You know, go to the library and use the Dewey Decimal System into searching for books and stuff like that. See, kids don't know about that struggle. All they know about how life is so easy right now. Going into the library, having to share computers because you don't have one at home, and the library, depending on where you live, may have only 4 computers, sometimes 2 computers out the whole library. Now kids go to the library, they got a section just for little kids to get on like little computers. Then they got a middle school and high school sections where they got about at least 10 computers in it. Computers was not that, just fluent as they are now. And kids just think, like, why? I was talking to a lady with my job today. Was what was it, Wednesday? Last Wednesday before we got out. And she was saying how she was telling her daughter about, you know, having to look at live TV. And if you got to use the bathroom, you got to wait during the commercial break and hurry up and come back. And the daughter was like, "Why you just didn't pause it?" She's like, "We didn't have DVR then." And like I told her that, she said, "Dang, I ain't never think about that." I was like, my cousin used to use the VCR, and she'd record live TV and come back and watch it later. Even back in the day when you had a VCR, that was a life of luxury. That you can set it and record stuff. That was a life of luxury for most. How many people, even had a VCR to even do that, more or less? And to, have it to where it's set to where you can record it, timers, like that was an upgrade. That was an upgrade VCR. That's like when Blu-rays and DVDs came out. That was a whole game changer. That's why I say when DVR came out, that changed the industry. You know, Basically pause and record stuff, save stuff, you know. And then when streaming service came in, that just shut everything. You know, most people are getting the movies direct on their homes, not even going to the movie theater. You're getting the whole experience at home. You know what I'm saying? A lot of rich people I moved back in the day, they had theaters in their basement. you know, or get the high end full HD 1080p resolution, you know, projectors, nice quality stream, not no sheet, but the nice quality to reflect off the colors and stuff. Get those lights at right setting, because too much dark sometimes it's kind of bad. But it all depends on what type of projector that you have. Sometimes left dark is just as good. So hey, but like I said, it all depends. The main situation is, you know, you getting things in order. Going back to the main topic, you know, having goals set. Like I said, I'm always gonna talk about the money. Shout out to Alonzo in the building. You know, gotta have your money right. You know, and I'm always pushing Alonzo because my thing is this: you can't wait till you get so old to where you can't afford or even possibly get life insurance, or just it's hard for you to get insurance now with a lot of pre-existing, illness. I remember one of the first policies I got by myself outside of my parents getting a policy for me. And the crazy part was the lady I got the policy from, she was telling me how her her mom got her a policy when she was like maybe 15 or some years old. She had got an illness during that time, and um, when she got diagnosed with it, it was something severe, and over time, it started getting worse. But her having that policy already, she was able to upgrade that policy and add more money. Of course, it was going to cost, but it wouldn't have been as much. I mean, it wasn't as much because she already had existing policy. So of course they're gonna add on, charge you a little more money, but they can't charge you like a brand new policy to where, let's say the least, I'm a chain smoker. You know, before you turn legally 18 to smoke, you're in the category of having good lungs, with no physical exam, having good lungs. Even if they do a physical exam, you haven't smoked a cigarette, you know, good health. You're gonna get a low coverage. The exams without the medical exam, they might charge you a little bit more. If you don't want them to charge you that little bit more and your health is good, get an exam. But if you got some existing stuff, which they know your records anyway, a lot of people think that they try to get over on those insurance companies and all this stuff. They check your records. They ask you these questions for a reason. You know, every time you go to your doctor, whatever you tell your doctor, whatever your doctor finds, he put it in a chart. So when you go see another doctor and they pull your medical records through your insurance company, every doctor pretty much knows. It's not like, to a degree, it's going in deep. Just right off the back, if you go to a doctor, he don't know you, never examined you, he's not gonna find nothing until he start, prowling, going through the exam. Now, once you start having trouble, you go into your medical records and the history through your insurance company. That's when they start figuring things out. Okay, this is a pre-existing, condition. You had this at your other doctor. When was the last time you went to the doctor? A lot of people don't notice that only time you pretty much, unless you're passed out and they start doing trial and error, the doctor always start with what's hurting. What are you in here for today? If it's for a checkup, that's the whole thing. It's just like getting a diagnostic check with your vehicle. They're gonna do an overall summary of, things, normally, typically things, you're gonna, with a car, they check the brakes, they check the battery connect and the oil and stuff. That's what they do with you. They go out, they start checking your heart, your breathing, your urine. You can find a lot of toxins and things in people's urine, to a degree, bloodline as well, checking your blood, checking your bloodline, your history of your family. If your family has, a history of diabetes, then you might be close along that line. So when they start seeing little signs, they can say, okay, well, this is a reaction from diabetes that, actually running your family. So how do you want to handle it? You want to eat the right way, or you want to go ahead and start taking medicine? Because generally that's what mostly happens with people when they don't, properly handle and take care of themselves the right way. They end up just getting on the insulin and just having to, take care of themselves. And so a lot of times people, when they neglect their body, they start neglecting things, that typically will happen. Ooh, that's a bad accident. But going into, like I said, say the least, New Year's coming in. Let's start off on the right foot, man. Let's start getting things together. Let's start putting some money aside. You know, people, if you can afford it, put 25 every week aside. You know, getting $100. $1,200 ain't a lot, but it's the start for some savings. If you can't do it that proper way where you're gonna touch the money, they got apps for that. I think Self is an app, and it actually builds your credit. I'm gonna look more into that because I'm gonna start doing these little apps and stuff to try to see how it's gonna affect my credit and things. Because I'm all about trying to help people improve themselves and improve their life. Why not be a better you? Why not do things that's good for your family? Even if you don't have a family, you're single. You're a single man, single woman. Why not be a better you? And a lot of people neglect themselves by not trying to, build to the fullest to make themselves better. And that's the number one thing I be trying to push mainly on my channel is you doing good for you. Like even with the finance talk. Like I said, the gender war is gonna always be here. We're gonna always go tit for tat with the females, and we're gonna always go tit for tat for ladies with the men, or just in general, vice versa. When men hold men accountable and women hold women accountable, that topic is gonna always be here. That's never gonna get old. Kevin ate big off of that. Kevin made a killing off of that. But the point of it is that I've always seen with Kevin conversation is having the talk. I talked to several women and I told them, I said, if you don't like the way Kevin talk, do better. Know what you're trying to mean, do better. See? That's the reason why Kevin come at certain topics like. Thing is, when I'm asking you to do better, I'm not directly holding you accountable. I'm saying do better of having the conversation. Why don't you make the conversation better regarding women? Why don't you hold, conversation? You don't have to hold women accountable because to a degree, if a woman wants to be held accountable, she will be held accountable. If she don't, she just don't. But the main thing is holding the conversation to say, well, as far as you being a woman, these are the ways you carry yourself, and these are the things that you do for yourself. That's in all, that I'm not talking about. And a lot of people get the conversation wrong because, for one, if you're always on the defense about things, trying to, not implicate yourself and being the bad person, you're always gonna, have these issues and run like that. So it's mainly gonna be up to you to put yourself in a better light, to not get caught up or, be in a situation like, and even regards to the money too, I always talk about we gotta start saving, man. The market is crazy right now. Buying a house to me any time is a good time to buy a house, but you got to look at the aspect right now. The interest rate is so high. By the time you come to refinance, it's not going to be a real good difference. You would literally have to probably go in a couple of years, within the 5 years or something to refinance. That's taking all that money and just dumping it. Because most of the time, if you really know about refinancing, HELOC is a whole lot better than getting a refi if you got a good interest rate. Now you got a horrible interest rate and they have a better interest rate. That's when you take advantage of a refi because it's beneficial because it's going to lower your rate. If it's not lowering your rate, and you're just doing it to get the extra money that's in the equity of the house. Like, what are you saving for yourself long term when you get older? You know, what are you going to possess when you get older if you're doing that? Are you going to spend all your savings from when you get older simply because you just want the money? It was a commercial, JG Wentworth. You know, it's my money and I want it now. That's like crazy. You rather go ahead, get this money now, then wait till you get older and take advantage of it. Who knows? You're gonna need that money when you get older. But say the least, man. Garnering situations, getting yourself together. That's where it counts. And I'm just gonna go ahead and end with a shout out to everybody that came through. And like I say, it all starts with the self, holding yourself accountable, working on things that can benefit you, working on things that can help you. In all honesty, being a better you is always the key. You know, why sacrifice yourself as not being a better you when you don't have to? So at the end of the day, be a better you, make yourself better. Do the right thing, like Spike Lee. But shout out to everybody that came through. You know, and you know what I always say: we here and we gone.